You're listening to Rubble and Ruin. Welcome to the End. A dystopian zombie story told in 12 parts. Written by Jarrett Rush and produced by SciFi Part 10. I walk the midway looking for Bethany and Britt, but I can't find them at first. Caroline never got specific about where she saw them, so it's a hunt. The length of the main walk in the midway is empty, but on my second pass I see them. They are huddled in a bloody pile inside one of the booths set aside for games. A board filled with small bullseye targets is above them. They died together and went violently. My only hope, even though I didn't have much use for either of them, is that it was fast. By all indications, it was. There aren't defensive wounds on either of them. My guess, the wailers came into Fair Park from the front entrance. They stampeded past what would have been big techs and got funneled into the narrow walk that led straight to the midway. Maggie got caught away from the main crush. Walter put up a fight of some kind, one he had to know was going to be futile. Predictably, it looks like Britt and Bethany ran, although I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing. They got a decent distance away, honestly. A few hundred yards. They must have ducked into one of the game booths, hoping to crouch in a corner and go undetected. But wailers aren't easily fooled. The girls came in here and cornered themselves. They didn't stand a chance. I bend to try and pick them up. They deserve a burial too, but I can't. They are shredded. Arms, legs, torsos. They are individual pieces at this point. And what is left, on closer inspection, has been picked at. Whatever animals have found their way into Fair Park have gotten to the girls. I stand over them for a moment, contemplating what to do with them when I hear a voice behind me. "Just leave them," Caroline says. "They didn't care to try and help, or to fight, apparently." "I might have run too, considering," I say. "No, you wouldn't." She turns back for camp, and I follow. She sits on a milk crate and stares off to the setting sun. I offer her my chair, but she refuses. I sit. "So, I've been thinking," she begins. "I don't have much here anymore. Anything at all, really." She pauses, and I wait for what I know is coming next. "Tomorrow, well, maybe not then, but soon I'm leaving. I'm heading north. I need to try and find my sister. If she's alive, she's all I have. So, that's what I'm doing. I'll follow 75 north up to McKinney. I blurt out that I'm going to Oklahoma. It's the first time I've said it out loud. It's honestly the first time I've really even landed on it as a decision. I'd considered it, but only in fleeting moments. Apparently, I was decided. She looks at me, and I can't read her. Is she disappointed? Disapproving? Then she says, "You can come some of the way with me." I suppose so. Yeah, I'm headed toward Oklahoma City, but I can come with you to McKinney. I need to make a left at some point, but there's plenty of opportunity to do that. Good. I'd like the company. She stands and says, "I'll take the chair now." I can't leave Bethany or Britt. It just doesn't feel right. So the next morning I get up and start digging a grave for them. Just one. It's set a bit away from the graves for Walter and Maggie. For some reason it seems better to keep them separated even in death. They don't deserve a prime location close to the others. I had a horrible dream last night. It was of what happened here a few nights earlier. I saw the wailers get Walter. I saw them get Maggie. I saw the two of them fight. And I saw Bethany and Britt run. And even though I know it's a dream, it's made me mad. I've sided with Caroline. I feel obliged to give these girls a burial, but I don't feel an obligation to give them more. I get their hole dug in a couple of hours. I do it in the early morning, as the dawn gives way to day. I want to have the whole project finished by the time Caroline wakes, so I dig fast. I've pulled off the coat I've been wearing for what feels like months. Awake, asleep. It has rarely come off, but if I don't take it off now, I'll sweat through it. The hole is narrow and only about 4 feet long once I'm done with it, but it doesn't need to be big. With the condition the girls are in, it'll do. I lay the shovel beside the hole. I head out into the park to scavenge a wheelbarrow. It'll be easier to use that and a shovel to move the girls to the grave. It's not until I get out into the park that I begin to consider how matter-of-fact it all sounds. I need a wheelbarrow and a bigger shovel so I can move 2 bodies. A lot of this experience the last month or so has been surreal. We're getting used to doing things we never thought we'd become accustomed to seeing or doing, like bodies. It was remarkable how quickly I got comfortable with seeing a dead body. It's not like they littered the streets, but they haven't been uncommon. Going back into downtown, I'd see a couple a day. Prior to this, I'd only seen bodies at a funeral, when they'd been cleaned and dressed and neatly positioned. Here, these were bodies where they'd fallen, and there was something more oddly normal about that. This job, though, moving Britt and Bethany, feels different. Maybe it's because I knew them a bit. Or maybe it's because they are in such a condition that I feel like I need a shovel to complete the task. Maybe it's just all of it. Whatever it is, I instinctively smile, then laugh in a way that I can't control. I look around for Caroline. I don't want her seeing me, to think that all of this is a joke. But I'm alone, and I let myself get overcome with the feeling of absurdity. I step through a crumpled spot in a fence that separates a back part of Fair Park from the public areas as the fit of funny passes. I find what I'm looking for. I don't know why we haven't seen this before. It's some sort of storage and staging area for the park's grounds crew. There are beaten little carts that can be used to haul material all over the grounds. There are rakes and shovels and wheelbarrows. I climb behind the wheel of one of the carts and hope beyond expectation that it will somehow start. The keys have been left in the ignition, and I go to start it. I'm trying to talk to the cart, telling it that it'd be great if it could turn over, that I want it to fulfill its purpose like it's some animate object that has a higher duty beyond hauling lazy humans and gardening equipment. It doesn't start. I try 2 other carts with the same results before I give up and start rummaging through a shed looking for a shovel bigger than the one I'd used to dig the 3 graves. I eventually find one that is comically large. Everything I find is oversized. The tub on the wheelbarrow looks like a small wading pool. The wheel in the front isn't some plastic or rubber number. It's a tire that requires inflation, and it's about half flat. My arms are spread uncomfortably wide to reach the handles on the back. The large shovel I've tossed in the tub is sliding around as I wind my way through the park to where Britt and Bethany are. It's taking twice as long as it should since I'm having to navigate around piles of destruction. I pass the old football stadium. It's half gone now. The concrete grandstands, lying in crumbled heaps. The field is getting overgrown. I reach the girls. They look worse than the day before. Something has gotten to them again, and it reaffirms my decision to leave. Whatever it wasn't small. If there are things like this coming into our park, Caroline and I don't need to stay. I pull the shovel from the tub and work the front lip under the girls. It takes some pushing to get it there, and the resistance makes me gag. I try not to think about what I'm doing, but trying not to think about it only makes the task more clear. I'm shoveling bodies, human bodies, into a wheelbarrow. I finish the job and wheel Britt and Bethany over to the grave I've dug for them. I tip the wheelbarrow up and let their bodies fall in. I use the shovel to make sure they evenly fill the space, then start dropping dirt back into the hole. I pat the dirt smooth, then toss the shovel out into the field. 3 graves. 4 bodies. This life had started to feel normal. The wailers had seemed annoying but avoidable if you didn't put yourself in situations where you were vulnerable. Living in an old fairground wasn't a horrible thing considering the alternatives. And I had liked Maggie and Walter and Caroline. Life wasn't anything like I'd ever expected, but it was becoming livable. Then the rains come. Then the wailers stampede. Then everyone dies. Now this fairground seems like the last place I want to be. I've never been to Oklahoma, but it seems as good a place as any now that nothing will feel normal again. I get back behind the wheelbarrow and begin to push it back to the storage area where I'd found it. Then I stop. It doesn't matter if it gets back to where it needs to go. No one is ever going to be here again. I don't know that, of course. Someone else could come here to Fair Park thinking that it'd make a good place to regroup, maybe to call home. And I can't say that they'd be wrong. It has been a good base to work from for the last month. Suddenly, a month doesn't feel like all that long. 4 weeks. That's all we've been here. That's nothing. It's an inconsequential amount of time. 1/12 of a year. Just 8% of a 365-day cycle, give or take. But this month also feels eternal. That's what happens, I guess, when the world comes down around you. I go back to camp. Caroline is gathering her mom's stuff. Her bedroll, her clothes, everything that still says Maggie. She's putting it all in a pile. "What are you doing?" I ask. "Cleaning up," she says. "I've already got all of Walter's stuff together." She points toward a similar pile a few yards away. I ask if she wants me to get Bethany and Britt's things. She doesn't look up from her work. She's going through a box that Maggie kept by her pillow. Caroline cracks it open. It's pictures. She starts slowly flipping through them, studying the faces on each one. A small smile sneaks onto Caroline's lips, and I realize that I've lost her. She's diving headfirst into each of the photographs. Britt and Bethany didn't have much with them. I take what they did bring and toss it onto the pile of Walter's stuff that Caroline has made. Caroline puts the photos back into the box and puts the box in her pack. These don't go on the pile. "What's the plan for all of this stuff?" "Burn it," Caroline says. "All of it. Tonight." I nod. It's a good idea.